Hello, Danielle here, and happy October. I was feeling inspired to record just a short laser transmission about the energy trends in October and what you may have been noticing in September was a real recalibration time. Now, it's not a big surprise. It's what we've been up to, especially since 2020. There's been this recalibration to that which matters most to you, that which is has deep meaning. There's been a whole kind of global pattern interrupt where doing things the way that you used to do is not the way that you do things anymore, at least the invitation to shift that. And part of what the energy of October is really primed for is to embody really a new way of being. So what I saw a lot in September for myself, for clients, was this going deep and a real call for self-care, not as optional, but like if you've ever seen that meditation where you have rocks and sand and water, like self-care being the big rock. And by self-care meaning really listening and tuning in and coming into a state of opulence energetically, coming into a state of surplus, coming into a state of brilliance, of really being nourished. And if you missed the cue, if you pushed through September because you had stuff going on and it wasn't the moment for you, that may be spilling into October as a primary focus. And then from there begins to be a real experience of a new way of being. Now, I've been a leader in the shift in unity consciousness for a long time now in this lifetime. And there's this sense as well, I know you've been on the path for a long time as well, whether it seems like it's new in years yet from lifetimes, that a lot of what is known in the higher dimensions or as spiritual truths as concepts, like ones that you absolutely know to be true, there's this syncing up and this embodiment with living them and living them in a non-negotiable kind of way, or at least that's how I'm experiencing it, where there's no longer this kind of business as usual, yet living in the new paradigm means having new ways of being, having new ways of moving through daily life. Because at Divine Transmissions, what we're up to, and what I'm also a firm stand for, is that what we know to be true in the higher planes, we're applying that to the physical plane. We're using this beautiful experience of being multidimensional on Earth to be this playground of application, of having our hands in the clay, of exploring what does that look like in daily life. So I'm not going to say what that is for you, because how could I? It's going to be unique to you. And yet most likely it'll be something that probably sweeps through your life that then ripples out in a lot of different ways. So for me, one of the things that's been happening since the Magdalene Codes of Love first came in on 11/11/2020, or it was the first time that I offered it, was this entire recalibration to multi-abundance, and specifically around anywhere where I was in an over energy, overworking, overdoing, overthinking, that there's just been this whole ripple, this new way of being. And that particularly showed up for me in like having a 4-day work week. So my schedule is much more consolidated, and that's been really luscious for me, and also really contributes to what matters most to me. One of the things that matters most to me is being a contribution to you and to the Divine Transmissions community and to the shift in consciousness. And as I'm in this really nourished, replenished energy, then I can show up in a way that is even more potent. So I wanted to share that with you and invite you to have your awareness on what's emerging, like that it's natural. It's not like, okay, I'm going to change my schedule. Like there was a real emergence to that, a bubbling up, impulse of creation of a new way of being that then ripples out, and that most likely it'll be an embodiment of a spiritual truth. So in this example, I know that all time is now and time is multidimensional. And that part of the new paradigm is bending time, collapsing time, consolidating time. So this is an example, it's very multidimensional, of what I've known to be true on the spiritual planes, that all there is abundance, and that includes time. And so those are some examples from my life, and yet you'll have areas in your own life, especially in October. So continue with your self-care from September and notice a new way of being that's a spiritual truth or universal truth that you've held for a long time, becoming a way that in October you're really modeling to yourself that you're in the new paradigm. Okay, so with that, I also wanted to share kind of what's up in October for us here at Divine Transmissions. I'm super excited that we are launching our 7-Figure Spiritual Leader podcast on October 5th, and we'll be sharing, releasing a few episodes, a handful of episodes at once, so you can kind of binge watch those. And then starting in November, we'll have 3 a month with myself, and then 2 with me and 1 with a guest. And I'm super excited about this podcast because it really does represent multidimensional abundance. So the 7-Figure Spiritual Leader, that there's abundance, whatever that is for you, it'll be helpful. Whether you are at 5 figures or 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever it is, but really just that abundance energy and spirituality, higher consciousness, being connected with source, and then that leadership. So it's a beautiful triple blend trifecta of those qualities, and I'm really excited about it because it also is a platform where myself and Toth and the Council of Light, and also the 6 and 7-figure experts that I'm bringing in to really cover a lot of ground from that energy of the new paradigm, multidimensionality, unity consciousness perspective. And then we also have our 7-Figure Spiritual Leader Summit that is the last week of the month. And so there's the podcast and then the summit. And the summit really is focused on energetic secrets to go from 6 to 7 figures, or to make a money leap. And I'm super excited about mostly all new, and also our faves that are joining us for this summit. And then the last thing I want to share is that we are opening the doors for our Magdalene Codes of Love Multiabundance Method program to start on 11/11/2021. So it's the anniversary of when the program first was made available, and I'm limiting it to 20 new individuals, that there are 20 Magdalene Codes of Love, and that there are 20 spots. And just like last 11/11, they will sell out and go like hotcakes. So this is kind of the sneak peek. If you think you might want to find out more, just reply with Magdalene or love codes. Maybe it might be more simple. And then we can be in touch with what that is about. But it's basically really, 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 really profound. It's been a game changer for myself and for those that have been a part of and are a part of the Magdalene Codes of Love Council to really create exponential expansion, divine expansion, stabilize it quickly, and then naturally be able to expand again, and to manifest multi-abundance, that which matters most to you and you're aligned with. So really that unity consciousness of abundance, not trading money for time or energy for purpose or any of those kinds of things. And it also includes 3 months of integration and ongoing support. So month 1, you ignite the 20 codes of love and has a lot of one-on-one energy support. So you have an 18-minute session with the Magdalens that I and the Magdalens and your higher self create in the higher plane. So it's like 20 sessions that you receive to ignite the Magdalene Codes of Love in the first month. And then in the following 3 months, we come together in some way, whether it's a Facebook Live or on Zoom or with an energy vortex. There's 3 touch points a month to really be applying the multi-abundance method, so that you are adding to 20 or 200K, or adding to really primary relationships, divine relationships, 20 relationships, 200 relationships, and then also sublime time. So amplifying the time, collapsing time in terms of how long it takes for something, taking back 20% of your time, like I've done with my work week. And yeah, so really excited about that. And I'll see you at the 7-Figure podcast starting October 5th, the 7-Figure Spiritual Leader podcast starting October 5th, the 7-Figure Spiritual Leader Summit the last week of October. And then for 20 Magdalens, will begin on 11/11/2021. So if you've been seeing 11/11, maybe that's a part of the reason why. And if you've done the Magdalene Codes of Love and you want to come hang out again, then there's a possibility to do that. So there'll be only 20 spots for new folks, and then alumni, you're welcome to also join us for another round, because that amplifies the field for you and also for those that are joining us for the first time. Okay, well, much love and appreciation, and thank you for your contribution to the evolution in consciousness. Bye for now.